Good morning. Today's devotion is going to be a little bit different. In fact, if you stick with it through to the end, it'll become evident that it's not really a devotion at all, but rather a combination documentary slash infomercial. Nonetheless, I hope you'll find it helpful. Recently, while working with a young couple that were preparing for their upcoming wedding, I was asked what type and translation of Bible I recommended. As I began to answer their pretty simple, straightforward question, it occurred to me that this is the one question that I get asked more often than any other. It also occurred to me that the answer to that question is anything but simple and straightforward. After all, how could it be? In terms of book sales, the Bible has been the undisputed #1 bestseller since 1450, the year that Johann Gutenberg thought up the metal movable type printing press and produced the first mechanically printed Bible. Fast forward 5 or 6 centuries, and what do we have? We have a market that's flooded with myriad of Bible translations and types to choose from. If you've ever been to a Christian bookstore and found yourself standing in the Bible aisle confused and paralyzed by all the options available, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm all about choice, but too much of a good thing can be a bit overwhelming. But since choosing the Bible that best fits your needs is largely a matter of personal preference, perhaps it'd help if I let you in on the Bibles that I have on my shelf and prefer to use in my devotional and study time. As for me, I use several different translations. I use the New Revised Standard Version, which is most often used as a pew Bible. And for what it's worth, the NRSV is also the translation most often used by Bible scholars, i.e. seminary professors and their students. It's a word-for-word translation, meaning that the translators took the original Greek or Hebrew word and then translated directly into English, but leave the sentence structure as close to the original as possible. Therefore, although the words are in English, it can still be a little difficult to read and comprehend. At least it is for me. And then there's the New King James Version. While the wording and the sentence pattern is similar to the Old King James Version, the New King James Version doesn't employ that Shakespearean sounding Old English verbiage. You know, the these and the thous and abideth and other such words that you would never use in a normal conversation. Many feel at home with this translation though, because it's the closest to what most senior Protestants would have grown up reading. But like the NRSV, the New King James Version is also a word-for-word translation. Then there's the New International Version. It's one that many people like because it uses modern English. In other words, it attempts to honor the original intent of the author, but still attempts to stick with the original sentence pattern, all the while using modern English words. For what it's worth, Brenda prefers the New International Version, the NIV version. Another on my shelf is the New Living Translation. Like the NIV, the New Living Translation uses modern English, but rather than being a word-for-word translation, it's a phrase-for-phrase translation. In other words, it employs everyday English words and conversational sentence patterns. Put differently, it reads like we speak. And finally, there's the Message Bible. While I love the Message, you need to know that it's not really considered a translation, but rather a paraphrase that was put together by one man. I find it to be handy for personal devotions, but it's certainly not my first choice for in-depth Bible studies or sermon preparation. Now, what I've been talking about thus far are Bible translations. While I use different translations, there's only one type of Bible that I use, and that's a study Bible. Unlike a pew Bible, a study Bible includes cross-references, historical, theological, and life application relevant footnotes. It has maps and it has diagrams. And on the back side of the book of Revelations, that'd be the last book of the Bible, a Bible study will include its own concordance. So now for the infomercial. The New Living Translation Life Application Study Bible is my hands-down favorite Bible and the one I use for 99% of everything I have to do. It's my go-to for personal study, sermon preparation, and teaching. So in terms of Bible types, I recommend a study Bible. And of all the study Bibles out there, I haven't found any that are better than the Life Application Study Bible that's published by Tyndale. As for translations, it's a personal preference thing, but I'm a die-hard New Living Translation guy. I hope that helps, because Bible study is so important to our development as Christians. Picking the right Bible should be by no means be taken lightly. So if you have any questions or you want to try out one of mine before taking on the Christian bookstore Bible aisle, feel free to give me a call or stop by. In the meantime, keep on looking up, keep on loving and caring for one another. God's got this, and we'll see you tomorrow.